What up, what up, what up, and we back again, right, with another one. You thought I was done with these? No, I'm not, man. We still got to move through the rest of the series, right? And we get to one of the personal favorites, Deep Dive, where it all just clicks, right? This is where we really start getting into what the Deepend series really starts becoming about, right? And so we're back again with another and welcome back. So once again, I'm Julian, the voice, and we are going through in the Deepend series, right? We're going album for album, and I'm giving you behind the scenes of what really went into these albums, what place I was in, what led to certain stuff, how these things implied, how it shaped my whole artistry and everything like that. Because I feel like this is a good way to turn around and really make these albums mean something, right? Because he wasn't there when I was recording. He wasn't there when I was going and feeling what I was feeling through the songs. You don't know, right? And so why not turn around and do these videos so you could really have a deep love for these songs and an understanding of these songs the way I'm viewing it, right? From the viewpoint that I have. And so again, we're in the Deepend 2 Deep Dive. And what was crazy about this one was that it was unintentional. There wasn't supposed to be an extended one, but New Depths was so received and I was in such a writing zone that I had to run it back, right? And at this point, I was fully in this space where I was more confident in my engineering skills. So I was, I had consistency, I had a thought process. It's around this time, by this time I have Repost Exchange. I'm actually getting on charts. I've actually been on SoundCloud playlists, right? So I've gotten enough feedback to where I realized, oh crap, I can actually do this. Like, I'm actually good at this, right? Because, everybody, you see how it is. Music is oversaturated, right? And I think there's too many people who don't gauge their skill sets first before trying to jump into the deep end. So we get a whole lot of water wash sounds and music, or people imitating and duplicating the same thing over and over again. It's because of moments like this, right, where you don't gut check and find out the temperature of, do I really have a sound that people can gravitate to? Do I have something to talk about? And in the Deepend 2 made me realize I have a lot to talk about, right? It also made me realize that I've been having this conversation through in the Deepend 2, and I wanted to do something that was more themed, right? Where I really wanted you to see what is going on in my head, right? And so in the Deepend 2 introduces skits. Again, just like how I used to have that's how I had in York Meets York. So in the Deepend 2 introduces skits where I turn around and literally give you conversation in my head, right? And you start getting introduced to a character who you find out later is the Holy Spirit, right? Who is charging me forward to get deeper into my mind and really address the things going on. So what ends up becoming is that New Depths, despite its name, right, only went to a certain surface level, right? So Deep Dive is where we fully turn around and we challenge, right? Everything, right? Everything that we're understanding, everything that we're feeling, everything that we just let it all out, right? To the point where I get so deep into my conscious, right? I create this really cool concept where Holy Spirit literally separates me, right? Towards the end. So I literally end up having a whole full rap battle against myself, right? Of what I was, right? Of what I used to be, or how I used to think, right? Or feelings I used to bottle up and everything like that, And Deep Dive starts taking a step forward, right? Where it's not just so much as saying what's going on, but actually putting action into it, right? Even with the first song, right, where I get dropped back into the deep end and the Spirit makes me make sure I actually go deep in there, right? In that scene, right? Then I'm actually floating down to the bottom, and then you hear the theme start turn around and kicking up, right? And the first song is Ride With Me, right? Where I'm literally like, hey, we're in this together, right? So like, come with me through here. If you as well want to unpack some things about yourself and actually want to navigate through this stuff, right? So I'm using myself, my experience to kind of help other people feel encouraged to move through whatever it is that they're going through, right? And so what's crazy is as we get through in the deep end too, right, things progress. It's really interesting, right? Things like start to progress. So in the deep end starts off really subtle and then it builds, right? So you start seeing all the wordplay. I'm starting off pretty calm, right? I'm like, hey, we got this. We're moving through this, right? Trusting the Holy Spirit to turn around and walk me. You could hear him throughout the song still turn around and talking to me or saying stuff, right? To try and turn around and encourage me, to push forward, right? And you hear how deep the lyrics is going, you know. But as you progress, you start seeing the shift, right? Like, start getting dialed in, you start hearing like, man, he's really going in. He's really bothered about something, right? You start getting the window to my mind, right? Which is like, okay, now everything's starting to open up and surface. And then you start, as soon as you get past, wonder why, where I'm just kind of like, why does it have to be like this? Why is everything like this? Why do we do these things that we do, right? And once I break that fourth wall, everything shifts. And we get to the next skit. And then the next skit, right, is where the Holy Spirit comes back and he's encouraging me, but he's like, we can do more, right? And that is where the split happens.